Hello Fit Factor fanatics, my name is Johannes de la Cruz. I'm from the Fit Factor in downtown Alhambra. If you're ever in the area, you should come check us out. We'd love to train with you, okay? So anyway, I want to talk about abs today. I know summer's around the corner and a lot of people like to ask us about, well, most common questions would be, how do I get abs? There's really more to it, but before I get into the actual training of how I would do it, I want to kind of explain to you, go over the structure of the abdominal muscles. Okay, so first of all, we have the favorite part, the favorite muscle, the most popular muscle in the abdominal area. It's called the rectus abdominal. Okay, rectus abdominis. I'm sorry, rectus abdominis, and it could come in like structures. It comes in 2x3s, comes in 2x4s, could even come in 2x5s. Okay, so the main function of the rectus abdominis is for flexion, for bending, and for stability. Okay, now next up we have the external obliques, which come out from the front, wraps all the way out to the side. Okay, we have the external obliques, and then underneath the external obliques we have the internal obliques. Okay, main function is for flexion and rotation as well. And then last but not least, we have the transverse abdominis, which wraps all the way around the front, all the way around the spine, okay? And the main function of that is pretty much to protect the spine, to keep it stable. Pretty much when we tell you as instructors, tighten up your core, we're usually referring to tightening up the transverse abdominis, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to go over 3 tips to effectively make your ab training better. Okay. So first, I'm going to talk about breathing. So one thing that you should remember about the ab training is when you contract, when you squeeze the abs, and you still have air in your lungs, your abs aren't fully able to contract. Okay. So as you're crunching, you want to take a nice deep breath at the bottom. Exhale up, and when there's no more oxygen in your lungs, your abs are fully contracted, okay? So make sure to, one thing to remember is exhale upon exertion, okay? Point number 2, I'm gonna talk about recovery. So unlike exercises when we're squatting, deadlifting, where we're using big muscles like the hamstrings, the glutes, the quads, the abdominal muscles actually don't need to recover that long. When you're squatting, you usually rest for about, what, 2-3 minutes? But when you're working on your abs, you only need about a few seconds to recover, okay? So with that being said, your abs respond best with continuous movement, okay? So let me explain. So you wanna go from one ab exercise to the other, okay? And you wanna take little breaks. I would say about less than 5 to 10 seconds each. Okay. Oh, and one more important thing: each rep count needs to be done to exhaustion until you can't do any more reps. Then you move on to the other part. Okay. And I'll explain this a little more. Now, my third tip to make your training more effective is I would say train the lower abs first, because when you tighten the lower abs, you automatically tighten the rest of the abdominal muscles, okay? So, work on the lower abs first. Now, I know I kind of went through this really fast, but I'm gonna go over how I would structure my training program for my abs, and then you'll be able to try it out at home, okay? So, what I would do is, again, like I said, you wanna train the lower abs first, okay? So, for example, you can pick anywhere between, you can pick a hanging leg raise, you can pick a mountain climber, you can pick a stability ball knee tucks, you can pick a body saw, or even cable crunches. Just remember, you want to exhale at the top, okay? There can't be any air in your lungs for your abs to fully contract. So I'm gonna do those hanging leg raises until I can't do anymore. Then I'm gonna move on to the obliques. Okay, you can do the hanging oblique raises, oblique crunches. You can also do bicycle crunches. You can do Russian twists. You can do oblique crunches. Or you can even do the windshield wipers. Okay, so do those to exhaustion, as many of them as you can, 5 to 10 seconds in between rest. Then we're gonna move on to the last part, the upper abs. You can choose from exercises such as the you can do the toe touches, you can do crunches, you can do stability ball crunches, you can do V sit-ups, you can do toe touches, you can do overhead plate sit-ups, my favorite. And so once you've done all 3 exercises, then you can rest. Take about a minute or 2 to rest, and try to do 2 to 3 rounds if you dare. Okay, you can do it. So give it a try and let me know what's up. But before I go, one more important thing we need to cover is nutrition. Now, you can do as many sit-ups, you can do as many ab exercises as you want, but if your nutrition is crap, those abs are never going to show. So 70 to 80% of abs are made in the kitchen. Yes, it's true. You know, I'm sorry, but that's very true. One thing that I would do, and biggest advice, and you'll make a lot of progress if you just cut this out of your diet. Okay? Cut out the processed foods, cut out the sugars, drink your coffee with no sugar. And doing just that little adjustment, you should be able to see some real progress. Okay? You'll start burning fat, you'll start burning. It's just amazing how much processed food we eat on a daily basis. We don't even realize it. Okay? Hold on, I'm not done yet. So if you're gonna eat your carbs, make sure to stick to clean carbs. You don't wanna waste those carbs. Okay? You only get. You should limit your carbs if you're trying to build abs. Okay? But if you were to the best way for you to be able to keep track of what you're eating, and I recommend this, is to get a MyFitnessPal. So I recommend you get a MyFitnessPal. And I don't really necessarily want you to get too obsessed with the numbers, but it's really helpful because it can help you track not only how much water you're drinking throughout the day, which is important. You should be drinking enough water. Aim to drink at least 1 gallon of water a day. And then, so yeah, MyFitnessPal will help you track that down. It's also good to know how much food you're eating, because we don't even really realize how much food we're putting in our bodies. I mean, you know how much you're eating, but you don't know in percentage-wise, like how many carbs you're eating, how much proteins you're eating. I was really surprised that when I first started logging in my food on MyFitnessPal, I was eating a lot of carbs. My foods were high in fat, and my protein was really low. So it's really good to know all these things. There's a couple questions you should be asking yourself. Questions such as, what are you eating too much of? Okay, in my case, I was eating too much carbs. What are you not eating enough of? In my case, not eating enough protein. And then what can I replace? There's always something we can do better. Okay, so pretty much I think I've covered it all. So if you want to join me, I'm going to be here today, happy hour ab session at 5 p.m. on Fridays, Tuesdays at 6 a.m. and Thursday at 6 a.m. Okay, so come join me, and I'll see you soon. Live fully.